Paul, you make an opening remark.
I'm just going to make just an opening statement, kind of introduction. Is this too high for you guys, or is this all right? You guys, thanks for coming. We appreciate it. First, we're going to speak with our chairman of the National Republican Campaign Committee, Tom Cole. He is U.S. Representative from Oklahoma, and even though we had some tough times with Oklahoma last year, we're not going to hold that against him. So if you all are ready, I'd like to introduce Representative Tom Cole, Chairman of the National Republican Campaign Committee.
Hey, thank you. We're already picking you guys to win the Big 12 North, and we're looking forward to that encounter if we're fortunate enough to beat Texas and Texas Tech. So we'll meet again. I hate to lose Kenny because Kenny was always a big bettor, I got to tell you, on Missouri football, and I got fortunate last year, and I think we're still drinking local beer and smoking local cigars. So anyway, but I'm here obviously because this is a very important seat for us. It's a seat that leans Republican. We expect to win it, but you know, we don't take it for granted. And in Blaine, we think we've got a terrific candidate, a guy that has demonstrated he's a leader, been very successful in the Missouri legislature, been a successful, obviously, appointee of Governor Blunt's as well. But also farmer, small business guy, got the kind of values, the kind of track record that you would want. So we think we've got a superior candidate and a guy that will perform very well for this district in the Congress of the United States. We also think we have a very clear ideological contrast. This is a good, solid conservative district. We think that Blaine reflects those values and those views. We think his opponent, frankly, is quite decidedly from the liberal end of the spectrum. And we've got the voting records of both these candidates in the Missouri legislature to demonstrate that. So we look at this as a classic liberal versus conservative race in a conservative district, and we think we'll win. We've already made an initial financial commitment here. I know people are always interested in that sort of thing. We're going to be supportive, and we certainly don't intend to lose the race by being complacent or allowing the other guys to scoop it up by buying it. But we expect it to be hard fought, but at the end of the day, we think we'll win. And with that, maybe I should turn it over to you, Blaine, and we'll do questions.
Okay. Thank you, Chairman Cole. One of the things we're going to talk about today is one of the important issues that we see in the campaign, which is the energy problems that we perceive. I mean, as we go around the district, the number one concern of people in the district are the energy prices, price of oil. And it's not just from an economic standpoint, it's also a national security issue, and it's something that we have got to resolve. Right now, we're spending about $700 billion a year in purchasing foreign oil. About 70% of our needs are addressed by this foreign oil. We're actually funding people who we are actually trying to fight around the world this time. It doesn't really make sense. So I think the Congress, the Republicans of Congress have came up with the American Energy Act, which I think is a phenomenal solution to this problem. We'll go into it in just a second here, but I think some of the arguments that people give for not drilling and things like that, I think, to me, the big problem with the oil problem is that the folks do not understand that we can drill here in America, use our own American oil to solve this American problem. The arguments that they use are that, well, it's going to take too long to get this all out of the ground. Well, I have some customers, some friends of mine who actually worked on the Alaskan pipeline, and those guys that built 700 miles of pipeline within 18 months. It took 1 month out so the Caribou could mate. Right now, if we drill an Anwar, which is about less than 80 miles from the end of the pipeline, we'd have the ability to put that thing together very quickly. Also, they said the last refineries built in Alaska took about 12 months to build. So when people say it's going to take 10 to 20 years to be able to solve this problem, that's nonsense. If we have the national will and national policy to drill and support expanding the drilling of this within our own country and developing our own resources and fast-tracking some refineries, which, we built the last one in a year. It probably takes that long right now to get the first permit, which is nonsense. We can do this in an environmentally friendly way, and it's something I think it's going to have to be done. The American people are demanding it. At this point, Nancy Pelosi, who's the leader of the liberal leader of the House of Representatives, went off on vacation while this crisis, which is causing a lot of hardships in our American families. Our country is economically struggling, and yet they go on vacation and don't address this most pressing need. Now, the other side of this energy situation, obviously, is the electrical needs of our country. Statistically, they think that within the next 17, 18 years, by 2025, we'll need 50% more electricity to meet the needs of our country as it continues to grow. How do we find that? How do we address that need? I think it's a multifaceted solution. I think you do things with coal, with natural gas, wind power, atomic energy, and renewable fuels. I think everything needs to be on the table. And I think if we address it from that standpoint, so we have diversity with this, and we have diversity and security with the way we approach the problem, I think we're going to be able to find a way to resolve the situation, not only to resolve it in an economically prosperous way, but also in a conservation and environmentally friendly way. So right now, the candidate for president on the other side of the ticket, their only answer to this is to inflate your tires. I think we've had enough inflating type of rhetoric. I think it's time we get down to business of answering these problems and resolving them for the betterment of our families and our country as a whole. With that, I'd be glad to take some questions.